Stabilizing shaky footage in post-production has become a routine for many editors. The Warp Stabilizer by Adobe is probably the most popular tool because it's easy to use and delivers good results most of the time. We use Premiere Pro as our primary editing software and After Effects for visual effects. Both feature the Warp Stabilizer. The effect has all kinds of settings to allow the user to adjust the stabilization properly. After the clip has been analyzed automatically and stabilized, it's easy to adjust the settings in case the result is not satisfying. Video stabilization software usually zooms in and crops the image, which means the resolution and detail will drop and the framing will change. To avoid a loss of detail, there are different options to keep the clip at the original resolution and crop. The downside is that black borders will be visible that are not fixed but moving, depending on the shot and the amount of shakiness. There is no general rule of how much it should zoom in when being stabilized, but the less it crops the video, the better usually the result. There are also other stabilization plugins available depending on which editing software is being used. Standalone software like Movie can also stabilize shaky shots, but it's made for non-professional video editors. It works automatically and doesn't allow any adjustments. The clip just gets stabilized once and that's it, no settings or fine-tuning. The results are okay for home movies but could be better compared to other software. Therefore it's fast and the stabilization process only takes a few seconds. The best free tool is probably D-Shaker, which is a filter inside of Virtual Dub and editing software. The results are comparable to Adobe's Warp Stabilizer. D-Shaker has a lot of options, which is useful for more advanced users. The filter just needs to be applied and rendered. Here are two clips using the 3 different stabilization tools. Even though it's the exact same clip, the plugins handle the stabilization differently, which means the result is never the same. When shooting car and driving scenes or shots where the camera moves fast, it's best to film at a high shutter speed to avoid extreme motion blur. Stabilization software can still deliver good-looking results, but the motion blur from bumps or camera shakes will be visible and distracting. The biggest issue of post-stabilization is the rolling shutter. In a lot of cases, the image will be distorted and wobbly after being stabilized, which makes them unusable. The results will be better if there aren't any fast pans or tilts in the video. Otherwise, rolling shutter will be visible. Of course, this is just a computer software and doesn't do magic. It's always better to get a steady shot on set, but because that's not always possible, stabilization plugins are very useful and can turn a good but shaky shot into a perfect shot.